Agents of MOC reporting in, and I'm here to share with you one of my recent projects that I just started. This is a Star Wars MOC. I'm really excited about it. I didn't want to wait any longer to share with you what I have so far. Again though, it is very much a work in progress, so I'd love to hear your guys' feedback. I know there's a lot of very passionate Star Wars fans out there, so I'd really like to hear from you guys on my direction with the MOC and everything like that. I'm going to go through some of the techniques that I've done in this MOC. I'm going to tell you my plans for the final product of the MOC and so forth. And the reason why it took me so long to start a Star Wars MOC, or even to think about doing a Star Wars MOC, was for a couple reasons. One, I was so into doing city building. It's still a very much work in progress in there as well, working on the city. But also, there's so many great and talented builders out there that are already doing some amazing Star Wars creations. It didn't seem like that was something I should have been tapping into, but with the release of The Mandalorian, it got me really excited about Star Wars again. I figured I'd give it a shot, so I hope you guys enjoy this video. Again, I'd love to hear your feedback on where I'm going with the MOC. Let's take a closer look and let's see what I got so far. First off, we're going to start at the bottom level of the MOC. This is the Raincore Pit. This part of the build is mostly done, but I still need to build up the left back side and complete the rest of the rock work. I also built this on a mills plate, which gives a base a lot more structural integrity and allows me to easily add more terrain if I wanted to in the future to the front. I really like the snot work I was able to achieve in this color. I really had to get creative on how I used the dark tan pieces that I had to give it some really nice texturing. Another reason I decided to do this MOC was because I already had the Raincore from a bulk lot I got a while ago, so I figured why not. He looks great in the build. Of course, we have Luke down here waiting for the unfortunate Gamorrean to be lunch as well. Here's a look at the Raincore door. I still need to acquire some parts in reddish brown to fully complete this, but I think it looks pretty good for the most part so far. Alright, so let's take a look at the back of this to show you how I created the wall structure. As we come around, you can see I've used Technic brick to try and save on parts, and by using large plates for the walls, so we can just stick those rock slopes right onto the side of it. We also have a nice buildup of the shaft for the slide down to the Raincore Pit, and we'll show you how that works a little later on. Of course, this side will be mostly hidden from view, so it doesn't need to look presentable at all. On this side, we have the other side of the gate. This will be the anti-room for the Raincore Pit, and I plan to add another base as large as this one to connect to it, and I will continue the build from the anti-room, which will hopefully house the droid torture room and the prison cells later on. The gate will be functional similar to the set, to which you can either hold open the door or release it to allow for it to come crashing down on the Raincore, just like in the set. Next up, we have the throne room. It is still very much bare at the moment, but it'll be completely detailed with items and characters from the movie. I really like the archway for the throne as well, as I was able to add the decoration with the new quarter tiles. Technically, all the archways should be decorated like this as they were in the film, but since this one is for the throne area and will be front and center in the MOC, this one should be the one to have it. Originally, I'd built this archway for the throne itself, but I really wanted something that was a little bit more structurally sound and that could hold weight and not just come apart easily. Boba Fett's throne from The Mandalorian was one of the first things I built and was my inspiration for starting this project in the first place. This was actually the second version I created. I may revisit it even further down the line, but for now it works pretty well, I think. Hopefully we can get some accurate Boba Fett and Fennec minifigs soon to replace these stand-ins that better represent them from the show. Here's the spit table that sits behind the throne. I tried to accurately represent the look of it from the Return of the Jedi as best as I could. This is where the Han Solo and Carbonite will sit. I would probably have the section step up from the main floor and probably also widen the archway so that it's completely open to the main floor. Here are more archways that hold all the extra characters that hang out in the throne room. This will remain open from the front so that you can still look inside into the entire throne room and see everything. This will be the curved staircase where everything comes down from. Technically, this should be positioned further away from the throne and more towards the right, but unfortunately we have the Raincore door with its railing, so that spot will have to do. Here's another look at the back of the throne platform. I loved the angle. I loved the angled stairways I was able to achieve. I think it was a nice aesthetic instead of just going straight back. There will be a trap door here eventually that you can pull out, but just to show you that it does connect up to the pit, here's Luke falling into the pit below. And finally, one of my favorite parts of the entire project, the exterior of the palace. Not only did I want a nice interior, but I also wanted a very inviting exterior as well that you could see from a distance. This will be the main tower of the palace. Obviously, there's a couple other smaller towers that need to go with it, which will be built in due time. As much as I wanted not to use tan for this building, something I had to accept because I already had many of the parts I needed to pull off the look that I wanted in tan. Here's the technique I used to bridge the gap for the curve in the wall. Again, the 1x1 bricks with the stud on the side were something I already had from the pab wall, so this was one of the reasons why I decided to go tan here. As you can see though, I'm using 1x4 hinge plates and 1x2 cheese slopes to achieve this, and really gives a seamless look to the building. It really allows you to get some really interesting texturing on the walls too. I really wanted to make it look gritty, filthy, and very unkept, so I decided to make the base just that by using reddish brown and dark orange brick to break up that tan on the wall. Here's a look at the main entrance into the palace. It should be bigger, but hey, I only have so much brick. Here's a better look at the roofing. I used a lot of dark tan, as you can see, but it didn't quite have enough. It does make it look more run down though. I haven't decided whether or not to keep some in there or make them all dark tan. Let me know what you think it should look like. Another thing that I'm not entirely satisfied with is the middle of the roof section. I would really like to narrow the gaps between the plates to create a more seamless look for it. So let me know if you have any ideas on how to better achieve this. Here we can see that I used hinge bricks to get the angles that I needed for the roof. And finally, here is the top removed to reveal the inner structure. I still haven't completely built up all the way around, but that will happen in due time. I think that about wraps up the update. If you have gotten this far, thanks for watching and supporting the project. Hopefully we can continue moving with the build and bring you more progress updates in the future. This is just the beginning, really. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.